Guess who's made a friend? It is I made a friend. Now, the people that follow me on TikTok know my history with friendships has not been bonita. It has not. So today I'm just going to go walk through how my journey has been, because it's been like a mixture of making a friend as an adult is difficult. Now, then you move yourself to a new country and that adds a new layer. And then you add culture, you add UK work shifts, you add just adult stress. And then you have basically a situation where it is impossible to make friends. And so I'm going to just walk you through my journey from how I went from 0 friends to where I am now. Okay, I'm still figuring it out. And if you want to see how this story goes, you need to subscribe. Here's the channel where we just give you authenticity. Okay, I give you as it is. There's no sugarcoating. There's no acting like we're making it. On this channel is raw, it's authentic, it's give you as it is. July 2022 I moved to the UK, and I thought it was going to be easy to make friends. I thought surely, I was so excited to mix up with other cultures. And there's so many Zimbabweans in the UK. You'd think that would be just a walk in the park. Like, it was to the extent where I wasn't even crying at the airport. I was just like, bye guys, I'm leaving, because I didn't expect it to be this lonely and to be this hard. And then I hit the ground and I realized, first of all, you're always on a shift somewhere. Okay, maybe you're the only black person there. Maybe you're the only Zimbabwean in your workplace. Maybe you're the only in most spaces. You're the only something there. Okay, and so it was just so difficult for me to make friends. And then people told me you need to use Bumble BFF. We're going to talk about these platforms and these ways that you can make friends one by one. So I can tell you from my experience what it was like experiencing those platforms and those different ways of making friends, and see if it will work for you, and if you're already in the UK, how it went for you. Okay, Bumble BFF. Now, with Bumble BFF, I was swiping and just looking for someone who has interests like I did at the time. Like, I was really looking for someone who's funny, someone who's into business, someone who's ambitious like me. And I did come across a girl once. She was a Nigerian girl. I was so excited, and I went to meet her. She lived quite close to where I was, and I went to meet her. I asked my friend to drive me. I went there, and it was awkward. Okay, it was awkward. I don't know, maybe it's because I brought somebody else, or I'm not sure, but it was just awkward, and it just didn't flow the way that you would want it to be. So with Bumble BFF, it's almost like you are dating someone. And the thing is, like, it could go either way. Like, you're trying to build that rapport with somebody, you know. Maybe it's better off to start off doing calls and not go straight to seeing this person like I did. It's definitely like dating. It's like starting from the ground and trying to find out this person's interest. Just because this person has the same interest as you, it doesn't just automatically mean that you two will vibe. And for me, most of the times, like, I would match with other introverts, and introverts, like, sometimes they're not easy to get along with at the get-go. With introverts, it's very much something where it needs to be built up. And so the first couple of meetings, they're usually quite weird. And with two introverts, because I'm quite introverted, it ends up being a situation of where no one is following up. Like, it's hard because we don't text as much, we don't call people, we don't do all of that. So it would be hard to start the friendships. Introverts are the type of people that you befriend because you're in the same environment over and over again, and it sort of becomes like a consequence of where you are, college, school, work, whatever. But trying to build that type of friendship from an app like Bumble BFF, where you actually have to actively make the effort, is against the personality of an introvert. And because I like introverts a lot, it was making things damn difficult for me. So for me, Bumble BFF did not work out. I met up with one person. I chatted with a lot of people online that I never got to meet. I just never got any benefit from it. I did have a girl that I was working with who managed to meet 3 other people, and they used to hang out and do like paint and sip projects and go to different places. Maybe it's better that way when you have more than one person. It's not just 2 people meeting awkwardly for the first time. Maybe it is better when it's like more than 2 people, it's 4 people meeting for an activity or whatever. I'm not quite sure, because I gave up on it really quickly after my awkward encounter. But yeah, that was my experience with Bumble BFF. It wasn't as effective. Random encounters. You have a better chance of being struck by lightning before you meet someone randomly at a shop and then become friends. Okay, this is my experience. Okay, if you are Dr. Extrovert and you are able to just meet someone whilst you're picking a potato at the supermarket, good for you. But for me, that never worked out. I did try to sort of be proactive in a random encounter. I met this girl. This was the first couple of days when I just arrived in the UK. First couple of weeks when I just arrived in the UK, I was obviously really excited. I saw this girl, and I can tell when someone's African. So this girl, she was walking by, she had her twist just done and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to walk up to this girl, I'm going to chat her up, and then I'll get her number. I asked this girl, I was like, oh, your hair is really nice. Can you give me the number of your hairdresser? Sort of trying to start a conversation. And then I went straight to like, oh yeah, where are you from? She's like, I'm from Zambia. Was it Zambia or Malawi? I forgot. But she was from a country really close to Zimbabwe. And I was like, oh my God, I'm from Zimbabwe. Like, we should hang out sometime. And I asked for her number, and I could tell from her face that she was mortified. She was scared for her life. She thought I was a serial killer. She thought it was weird that I just approached her in the street and asked for her number. I don't know what was going through her mind, but it was not positive. Maybe she thought I was trying to date her. Maybe she thought it was just clear. You know, when someone is really trying hard to just hide their sheer disbelief, but it is just too much disbelief for them to hide. That's how it was. She was mortified. I took her number. I got home. I texted her. She never replied. So that's what happened with me. So that's random encounters for me. For me, random encounters did not work. So just like walking into the gym somewhere and trying to chat somebody, that never worked out for me. So again, 0 for that one. I give that one a straight 0 because I was embarrassed. Why? Because I ended up meeting this girl at a church that I used to go to, and I was just further embarrassed from being ghosted after I texted, and then meeting this girl in church, and I was just hoping that she doesn't remember that it's me. 0 for that one. Absolutely 0. I would not try this at home. Social media platforms. This one worked for me because I managed to get one friend. So now I'm talking like a DM on Facebook, Instagram. Some people use TikTok. I've seen TikTok working really well. I personally used LinkedIn. So this is what I did. I went on LinkedIn. I found somebody who went to the same college that I did and was doing the same profession and was in the same location. And it was just a matter of chance that this person was willing to meet up with me. They were scared. Undoubtedly so, because it was weird having me message them out of nowhere. But because they could see my LinkedIn, and because it's LinkedIn, I don't know, LinkedIn has some type of a suit in it. It has some professionalism in it. So people might be willing to, I do find that they're more willing to help than they are more willing to be friends with you. But on this particular occasion, I managed to be friends with this person. So maybe you can go from trying to be professional and then move on to friendship. So with this person, I messaged them from LinkedIn. I was like, listen, I do the same profession. I went to the same college as you. Would you like to meet up? And luckily enough for me, this person managed to meet up with me. And that was in 2022. We're still friends up to this day. We generally have a lot to talk about. So for that particular occasion, it was good. It was good because this person was, one, willing to meet up with me. They met up with me in a public place, obviously in a pub, because they were terrified of this stranger, this weirdo that messages people on LinkedIn to be friends. So yeah, with her, it was easy for me because we were both churchgoers. We were going to the same church. Were we going to the same church, or did she introduce me to her church? Same profession, same college. We knew a lot of the same people. So it was increasingly easier for her to trust me. And one thing about like being in a foreign land is that if you're both Zimbabweans or whatever, if you meet a Zimbabwean in the street, you just end up becoming really close with a Zimbabwean. It's your brother, it's your mother. Like that's just the vibe, right? So I made a friend from LinkedIn. We're still friends up to this day. So that's, yay, one friend for me. Another thing that I haven't tried, I didn't follow through with it, but I did make a video on TikTok talking about loneliness, and a lot of people DM'd me to try and be friends with me. So I've seen a lot of people do that, where they will say, who's in Leeds, or who's in Edinburgh, I'm from Zim and I want to make friends. And I've seen people sort of like DMing each other and getting to meet up. People are even going to trips together to Albania, Montenegro, from Facebook groups, just Facebook groups. Someone says, I'm going to Albania, does anyone want to come? And things like that. So social media platforms, I would give that a solid 7. I would give it a solid 9. That's a good one. That's a good way to make friends, because you just generally just meet people who don't find it suspicious that you're looking for friends. And then there's work. Ooh, chills. Okay. For me personally, work, you have to be careful. You have to be careful when you're trying to make friends at work. I did think that it was impossible for me to make friends at work until last year. Last year, I managed to make not only one friend, not 2, but 3 friends at work. Yay! Last year, I made 3 friends and I ended up becoming part of a friend group. And I was added to a WhatsApp group, and I was so excited by being added to a WhatsApp group because I did not think that it was possible to make friends at work that you want to hang out with outside of work. If you had asked me like 2 years back before, because I've only been friends with these people for a year, I would have said it's impossible. I would have said avoid completely. But now that I've experienced it and how lovely it has been working with your friends, working with people that you actually want to go on trips with. I've been to trips with these people outside of the country. I've slept in these people's homes. People that I work with, I did not think that was even possible. So with work, I would say proceed, but proceed with caution. Get to the work environment, scan the environment. Stay there for a little bit. Don't make friends as soon as you get there, okay? Also, don't be antisocial, but be very social, but scanning the environment, okay? Take your time with moving people from being just workmates and bringing them into your inner circle, because that can be very dangerous. So I'll say with work, because we spend so much time at work, if you can find another Zimbabwean who works in a different department in the same company, go you. Most of the times you're not going to be able to find that. I found that in most situations, I'll find one Zimbabwean in the company if I'm lucky. Don't rush into it. Don't rush into telling people your business, how many pets you have, how many kids you have, about your breakups and all of this. Take your time. So just stay on the surface level for a really long time until you are absolutely sure that you can bring somebody into your circle. Because if you do get a work friend, it makes life so much easier. It makes the 12-hour shift go by so much easier. I've had amazing experiences with these people over the last year, and I've been managing to go and cry to them about my personal life, managing to cry with them about literally everything. And just imagine working in an environment with people that love you and people that actually care about you deeply and personally. It changes the game completely. If you can, get in there, but do it slowly and proceed with caution. Events. I made one friend from an event. There just happened to be a party in the house where I was living. It was a house share. I was wearing my night dress. I just walked downstairs to get a glass of water and just to get a piece of cake. And I met this person and we just started talking about nothing during this party. But the reality is that as an immigrant who just moved abroad, you're not going to be getting invited to many parties. You're not going to randomly find yourself at a wedding. It's going to be extremely hard for you to meet anyone at a party. But if you do, I just want to give you the courage to ask for someone's number. If you can do that, just ask for someone's number and try to email, because that person is probably waiting for you to do that and you're waiting for them to do that. I'm still friends with that person as well. So that was a good way to meet somebody if you do get invited to a party. I find that if you're quite introverted like I am, then the best case scenario is like a house party where it's smaller, not a club where people are screaming and hollering everywhere. So if it's a very closed environment, church events, that could be a good way to meet somebody. But you have to have the courage to extend that hand and to be like, can I have your number? And to be the first to text. It's just like dating, really. Now this year I discovered the gold standard of making friends. I've just started trying it recently and it's working out more than everything else. I'm going to put it as my last point, so please do stay to the end of the video to see what I'm so excited about. The last one is referrals. I was going to do the clocking sign. I hate doing this. I hate this thing so much. But the last one, and that's the absolute gold standards, is referrals. Okay. Recently, and I mean recently, in the past 1 month or two, I've started saying to people, do you know any Zimbabweans that want to be friends? Like, I'll send messages to people back home. I will say to older people, I'll say to people that I went to college with, I'll just say, do you know anyone that's in the UK that would want to be friends? And recently I have fallen in love with that method because it puts you, in most cases, with other Zimbabweans. I was connected to somebody and they just happened to be going on a trip to Montenegro, and they were just like, yeah, you can come with us if you can find a place to sleep. Like, we'll fit you in, we'll sleep with you, and you can share our room with us and stuff like that. Like, how Zimbabweans are. We're immediately like, yeah, like because we're the type of people that will fill up a Honda Fiti with 10 people. So we're just so accommodating, and I've been on a hike with random strangers. So I will definitely let you guys know if any of this friendship do survive all of these stressors, which is shifts or these moves, these relocations and stuff like that. At the moment, I'm still building. I'm still trying to. These days, I'm prioritizing the referral system. So I've met a lot of people, but I've just met them once. Now I need to try and meet these people for the second time, and for it to actually become a friendship. So yeah, if you want to know how that goes, if you want to know how everything goes with just the reality of living in the UK, really, please join the family. I have to cut this video short now, but I will link a video up here about the difficulties of living in the diaspora. Please do watch that video. Bye bye.